Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. I'm here with Zinnia. Say hello, lovely Zinnia.
Hello, lovely Zinnia.
We're going to be talking about Alpha 3.24.1, which is now on the live servers, the ATLS Exo-Suit, some drama around that. Is it a gash grab? Have they nerfed tractor beams specifically for that? There's some vehicle loadout changes as well, which are causing some confusion, contention, upset, drama, a mixture of that. It's Pirate Week, maybe? Question mark. That's probably happening in a minute. And we got CitizenCon a month away. Oh, also, Soul Singer. What is that? We don't know. But that's pretty much the bit on Soul Singer. We don't know what it is. How you doing? You right?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, good. I had a good weekend. I played Oathsworn, which is a board game I've wanted to play for about 4+ years.
Is that how long you've owned it?
I've owned it since I can't remember. I got it in its original Kickstarter. It says 2022, so maybe I haven't owned it as long as I thought. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was many years I'd had that game. But I've got lots of other games that I've had for many years, and that's confused me. But it's this big campaign game, and it's like a big boss battler and a bit of a fantasy world, and you're running around. And it's really good, and it's pretty dark and horrible, and you have to make horrible decisions. And when we got into chapter 3, which is the chapter a lot of people say, oh, this, like after the game tutorial, it's when the game gets a lot more meat to it. We went, oh, there was a lot of sighs and oh god, lots more decisions to make. But yeah, very cool game. Very much enjoyed it. Played it for like 16+ hours over the weekend, so a lot of gaming. Yeah. What about yourself? You went to a games market or something, you said?
Yeah. It's just a little. I say little games market. It was an average-sized games market. There was only one stall dedicated to Funko Pops, so I was very pleased.
Normally it's loads. When we go to like iSeries Extra, it's got like 4 or 5. Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they did it on purpose. I think she probably got in there first, and then anybody else was like, "Oh, what are you selling? Funko Pops? Nope, go away."
Yeah, get out of here. Just like shaken down. I feel nice and refreshed, although I do have to tidy my house. It is a bit of a mess. We'll get there. Anyway, things that were happening over the weekend. The Alpha 3.24.1. That's now released to live.
You said it would.
I did say it would, didn't I? Oh, I was right. I've been right once in a decade of Star Citizen things. That's good. So, it's much better than 3.24 live. It's fixing a ton of the problems that it had, which is great. We'll be playing this and getting more footage on this, because obviously we use a load of B-roll because we're mainly focused on news, but we are going to be transitioning more and more into gameplay as Star Citizen gets more and more playable, and talking about that. But and it's nice to have you B-roll that's not just CIG stuff and our older stuff. So we'll be getting some more stuff. I do want to talk about a couple of things here. Cloud Imperium is starting to talk about long-term persistence, or LTP 2.0. So this is, every time we have a patch, we might not have a wipe. So they might not wipe Alpha UEC in your assets. Sometimes they do. But even when they just add a new patch, typically they'll wipe a load of your consumables and your character data gets reset, your refinery jobs go, stuff like that. Stuff that's, to be honest, not really that important, unless you've just put a huge refinery job in or something and you've been like mining all the time. So there was a thread about this and someone going, why even do refinery work and these sort of jobs if you're just going to keep on resetting these so often or whatever, or not give us enough warning and things like that. And CIG did say they are working towards long-term persistence 2.0, and that will make the new patches more seamless. Although at the moment they're much more focused on server mashing 4.0 and sort of the shards and getting as many people on the server as possible, that sort of stuff. But in the not too distant future, we should have, if they don't need to wipe, then it looks like they're planning to have it that nothing will wipe, not even consumables. Is that something you think is really important to have in the game, ASAPs in, or not really? What I'm trying to say is that would no more resets until beta be beneficial for the game?
I mean, it'd be beneficial for the players. Obviously, there will come a point when CIG are like, well, we need to keep things so that we can monitor what happens when we keep things.
Yes, And obviously the other way around as well. They want to know what the starting economy is like and where players naturally move to and things like that as well. Yeah, that's an interesting one, I suppose.
It's all just testing. At the end of the day, that is what we're doing. We are just testing.
Yes. And I think that there is a confusion in Star Citizen with the community and CIG and the game all competing and talking about what Star Citizen is. And I say CIG, I mean CIG's marketing. So the player base, they're playing Star Citizen and all have very different ideas of how everything's going. CIG, obviously making a game, but their marketing team market as this live product that is playable now. And you see that from all of the trailers for patches and stuff saying, look at this new patch. It's marketed like it is a live service product. And it's this weird development as a service, live alpha thing. But at the end of the day, we are testing it because it is alpha and we want a fully released product. And when we have that, there will be no more resets. Until then, resets are just part and parcel of everything. But I suppose having more reasons to play now is always good. Mm-hmm. Something else that was in that patch, Zin, which a lot of people did not expect, me included, obviously they teased this, was the Argo Atlas Exo-Suits.
Yes.
These are in-game now, and we've messed around with them a little bit. We'll be playing with them more. We had actually talked about these a little bit because they put them in the PTU build. We didn't know how much they were going to be, but they are now actually on sale. Do you know how much they are?
Yes, I'm looking at the store.
Gotcha. So they are on sale from $35. $35 if it's war bonds, so not using store credit. $40, obviously plus taxes. If you use store credit, what do you think of that price?
In the grand scheme of Star Citizenships and stuff, it's pretty cheap, but that's also like the price of a game.
Yeah.
So depends on your perspective.
I think that these are hugely overpriced. And I think that maybe they should have sold them for $20, $25. Even if they'd sold them for the higher price of $25, in my opinion, people wouldn't be so annoyed. So there's a lot of drama around this, with people saying it's a cash grab for a lot of different reasons. Do you see these just as tractor beams with legs, Sin, or do you think they're just cool and fun as well?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, and I know we're probably going to get into this, but I'm going to bring it up quickly now.
Yeah, go ahead.
But obviously there's the whole thing of, as you said, they've nerfed the multi-tool tractor beam.
Yes.
But you can still just buy a dedicated tractor beam tool.
Yeah, although those have been as kind of a little nerfed.
Yeah?
And they're going to be getting nerfed in the future. So the way that tractor beams interact with stuff and twist it and move it and spin it and stuff like that, they've slowed those speeds down. Bop it as well, yes. They've slowed those speeds down, and in the future, they've basically said that multi-tool and dedicated tractor beams are going to be about 50% less effective in moving weight, moving mass. So, like the current multi-tool can grab, 16 SCU cargo containers? But that will be 8 in the future, but you can combine beams to move 16.
Okay.
And the dedicated one, I think, is 32 at the moment, I think. And that will be 16 in the future, but again, you can combine beams. But they're basically saying, look, these multi-tools, these handheld tractor beams, are supposed to be weak tractor beams that are used for environmental sort of interaction, but not to a huge extent. You're not supposed to be able to move huge boxes with them. And I think that's fair enough. But a lot of people go, that change has just happened, and you're talking about more changes to these. Is that partly because of the Argo Atlas, and is that also because you were trying to sell it?
I don't see it as a problem. So you can buy a dedicated tractor beam tool in game and move currently the biggest container. By the time, I hope anyway, by the time these other changes come into play, you'll be able to buy the Atlas in game with in-game money.
Yes.
And it won't be that expensive.
It should be relatively inexpensive to get these. They are not spaceships. They are selling for starter ship prices in real money, which is, it is an overinflated price. But you do not need to buy them. You can get them in game now by taking someone else's or borrowing someone else's, I suppose. I think that $35 is a bit too much for them, but just don't buy them. You are going to have to wait like 3 months or so before they're in game properly. I think people are also annoyed that the tractor beams on them are better than any other tractor beam we've got in game. They grab and pull, so you fire it at something, it grabs it and pulls it and puts it above your head, and then you can right-click to charge and throw the item, which is actually quite fun, going repulsing them at things. They did say that in the future that they will have different types of tractor beam that you can put on ships and vehicles, some of which will be similar to the way that the Argo Atlas one works. So like we're going to have different types of tractor beam, and you'll go, I like this type of tractor beam, no, I prefer this type of tractor beam, and there'll be positives and negatives because of that. They use more power, or they operate in a different way. Do you like that idea that there's going to be a more range of tractor beams, or do you think they should actually just try and nail down one way or one way of them working well?
No, I think variety is good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm of that opinion too, as long as they can make them work in a good manner. Obviously, Star Citizen a bit janky. Although 3.24.1, this stuff is a lot less janky than it was in 3.24. And obviously, the Exo-Suit's got loads of tweaks throughout the PT phase where they were being tested. Just get it in game is my suggestion. I know a lot of people were annoyed about this, saying it's a cash grab, and there was they nerfed tractor beams because they were trying to sell the Atlas. I do not see it like that. I see it as them going, well, we've got tractor beam changes coming in. It's the cargo patch. We'll release the Argo Atlas suit, and its function is that it can lift these big boxes. And it just, at the end of the day, you're getting more, not less. Overall, you just have to wait a bit longer to get those Argos suits in game, and assumedly they're going to be inexpensive in game to buy with Alpha UEC, but we don't know that for sure. But I mean, they're not spaceships; they should be. I mean, if they're stupidly overpriced and really prohibitive to get, that'll be upsetting. I do think that CIG should have gone, they are just tractor beams, and had them immediately released to game and not sold them. But maybe that's a ridiculous thing to say because they can sell them, and they've made a huge amount of money from these already. People are really buying them. I think they made like $500,000 almost immediately in the first day of selling this. Because when we were talking about this originally, Sin, you were like, oh yeah, they should have just effectively given them to us. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of a shame they hadn't. Maybe
if you had like a certain sized hanger, you get one with your hanger.
Yeah, they just go, bam, you sort of need one of these. Now, I think that this would be less of an issue if we had some alternatives to the Exo-Suits. Now, obviously, yes, you do have that dedicated large tractor beam at the moment. So handheld tractor beam is reasonably good still. I mean, the multi-tool one's fine as long as you're not trying to lift too much. The Mule is supposed to be a vehicle alternative to the Exo-Suit, really. Yeah? It's supposed to be this forklift, effectively. Almost certainly it's going to be using tractor beams as well in the future rather than proper forklift or whatever. But the Mule doesn't work properly at the moment. So it's effectively useless at the moment.
Okay.
That's sort of a shame. Maybe that will change in the near future. They'll go, oh yeah, let's get the Mule in order. And the other thing that we've seen before that we were expecting to turn up at some point before Exo-Suits was the hover cargo trolleys. Right?
Yeah, but didn't they have them? But then they removed them?
That is correct. They had them and removed them. I think it was all during the PT phase. I don't think they actually released them to live. Everything sort of blends together. Feel free to correct me in the comments below.
I mean, to be fair, they had enough trouble with the wheeled trolleys. I can't imagine the hover trolleys would be much better.
Well, the hover trolleys are much better because they don't have to rely on physics in the same way. But they did suffer from very similar issues. So I think it's one of the reasons we don't have Bounty Hunting version 2 yet as well, is because they don't have the cryo hoverpods working properly yet. But yes, you are right. So yeah, hopefully CIG will put in some more alternatives to this, and it won't feel like they are nerfing items just before they release something that you then want to buy. But Star Citizen is out for a reason, and you just have to wait a little bit to get this stuff in game. If you're buying now, it's because you're an early adopter or you want to support the game, whatever. A lot of people that want these, if you've been supporting Star Citizen for a while, you've got some store credit, or you can melt something, buy your suit with that store credit, and then melt it again when the Atlases are available in game. That would be my suggestion. Do you think there's going to be a not cargo version, a combat version of these coming this year? Or do you think they're going to be further out?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's cool. I mean, neither do I. I'm thinking that might be something they show at CitizenCon, or as part of like a Squadron 42 trailer at CitizenCon. They're like, oh look, the combat versions of the Atlas, because we know they're supposed to be appearing in Squadron. But that's what I'm hoping for. That's why I'm hoping they release this cargo alien power loader version. Something else that's happening, Zin? is some vehicle loadout changes. This has also caused some drama, but for me, it's too early to be annoyed about it. So I'll briefly explain what's happening. They are, with a lot of ships, preferring lots of smaller components rather than a couple of larger ones. The Redeemer, for example, is having its 2 large shields changed to 6 like medium shields.
Yes.
And at current effective health pools, that is sort of like a 18,000 or so effective health now with 6 mediums, but would have been 200,000 or something like that, 100,000, 200,000 with the previous ones. That's like a magnitude change. And they've sort of reduced weapon sizes on ships like that as well. And people are just like, this is a huge nerf. People that bought the ship are just devastated. Yeah, so it looks like a nerf. And they've done this to a load of different ships. They've basically said, look, we've been looking at the balance for these ships and the intention and the numbers. Some of them aren't in the place that we want, so we're sort of changing a load of ships up. So yeah, the Redeemer, it's got 6 size 2 shields now, and they've made its man turrets 2 size 4 weapons. So that's again a reduction in the size of the weapon on there. This is on a load of ships. Not that many combat ships got affected, or like focused combat ships. It's lots of industrial and racing ships and things like that. But some combat ships got affected, like the sort of Starlifters. It's just, yeah, it's an interesting one. People say often, at least some people, that CIG will sell a ship and then nerf it later. And people are like, oh yeah, buy the new thing. And then, oh, the nerf's happened. And is that intentional? And then they'll release the next thing at CitizenCon or the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. And it'll be like, oh, this is so much better. And then they nerf it later for the next big thing. Do you think that's a part of a cycle? Or do you think that's like, well, actually, these things are all going to get balanced? Or is there an expectation that stuff's going to get nerfed? Or do you not see it as a nerf because everything goes through the same sort of balance cycle? What do you think is going on?
I think they've got a bigger plan in mind. I have nothing to base that on. I'm just hoping that that's what they're doing. And these changes, as you say, may be quite big at the moment, but once they sort out everything else, it actually balances out.
Yeah, and it's possible that the Redeemer was significantly better than it's supposed to be in certain areas. And if it is overly nerfed, they'll buff it later again. And it's sort of irrelevant at the moment. I suppose it's not irrelevant if you're playing Star Citizen loads now at your ship and you're enjoying the game, and then they go, oh, you know you're enjoying using your ship. Well, your ship's, you can't enjoy it in the same way now. You've got to wait. You've got to wait a year or something like that. I mean, that can be quite annoying and upsetting. But we are in the position where Star Citizen Alpha and they're sort of developing it, and we're sort of along for the ride. Have your say, get involved with those conversations. Some stuff is going to need to be nerfed. Some stuff is going to need to be buffed. And there is a load of stuff happening in 4.0. Lots of ships being brought up to gold standard, engineering gameplay. A huge amount of those placeholder systems are basically going to have gone away in 4.0. That's when we're going to start to see a lot more balance, in my opinion. You don't see this as like a huge red flag or anything, do you, Sin? Or do you think it's something to be cautious about?
No, I don't think. I trust that they're going to do the right thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, for the most part, I agree with you. I do think that there is a disconnect with marketing with CIG a lot of the time, where they do miss the mark sometimes, and they do push this weird double-edged sword of this life development game as a service, and some things aren't done necessarily. It looks a bit predatory because potentially the marketing team are trying to sell things. I do think there needs to be much more of a look at these stats, like a big warning. These ships, all of them will change. So if the ship appears to be too powerful in this role or whatever, then it will get rebalanced. Just a much more. This will happen. It is alpha for a reason. I know a lot of people know that already, but not everyone does. Yeah, a lot of people think that when a ship is on sale, its weapon hardpoints are going to be, that's its finalized stuff. Pirate Week.
Yar!
Oh my god. I think Pirate Week is probably this week. It's International Speak Like a Pirate Day on the 19th of September. Typically CIG do a Pirate Week around then, so I'm expecting that to be talked about later and start later. CIG also showed off some pirate coins in the newsletter. Are you excited to get involved with Pirate Weeky things we'll be doing some Arena Commander. Maybe we'll see more than just Pirate Swarm modes. Maybe we'll see some FPS stuff. I suppose like Halloween last year, they had Spooky Scary Skeletons. Do they have anything for FPS in Arena Commander last year? There's the opportunity for loads of stuff to happen there, including pirate skins for ships, which is almost certain, and a little pirate ship sale, things like that. But expect CIG with these events to have other things that you can get involved with that you can play in either Arena Commander or things that you can do in-game as well. And it might be like they run the blockade runner missions and stuff like that as well, right? That makes sense. Pirate Week, it's a big pirate mission that they've got for 3.24 that they haven't run yet properly in live. In fact, that does seem quite reasonable. And Zin and I will get involved with that as well. CitizenCon's in. Month away.
Yes.
Are you excited?
A little bit.
So I'm concerned because typically I like to cover CitizenCon from the comfort of my own chair and immediately make videos on it as they are announcing that stuff. Obviously, we won't be able to do that because we're actually going to be at the event. Very first world problem of like, oh no, I'm going to be attending and enjoying it live. Oh, what a problem. But Zin and I will be there from the 18th to the 20th. We'll be there at the Bar Citizen at the Street Takeover. If anyone's around and they want to meet up, I believe there's a thread on my Discord, which will be collecting questions for devs. If you want to chuck anything in there, I'll sort of compile everything together. We'll hopefully be having our office tour if we can get one. Don't know if we will be able to. We'll see. But yeah, we'll be at CitizenCon. We'll be hopefully seeing those devs, and I'll report back on it when I'm back Sunday evening. Or start to, because I'll be reporting out on it for like over a week, almost certainly. Are you excited, Zin? Are you like looking forward to anything in particular? What would make your event?
Just having fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you hoping that Squadron 42 celebrities there, like Henry Cavill, maybe?
No.
No? I am. I love a good celebrity. Okay, do you actually know I'm a bit of a mediocre celebrity myself? Yeah, so I'm super looking forward to CitizenCon. Last time I visited one in person was 2019, and it was amazing. This is probably going to be the biggest one yet, and I am expecting Squadron 42 announcements. I'm expecting a hard date release, to be announced. Hard release date to be announced. Words. Yeah, Zin and I will be there, so we'll be around. Come and say hi. Tell us that you're there. Yeah. What Soul Singer's in?
I don't know.
No one does. People are like, it's a new game, or CIG got a new IP or whatever. We don't know what it is. The StarEngine is trademarked by them. Soul Singer is trademarked by them. Squadron 42, SQ42, all these sort of things are trademarked by them. Soul Singer could just be the name of their audio engine or something like that. It could be the name of Squadron 42 Episode 2. It could be a load of different things. But some people thought it was this new game that CIG were working on. I think it's unlikely to be that. It's not out of the question. It's probably something quite minor. Do you think that's sort of fair? We literally don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just speculation until there's some sort of leak, so...
Well, even with a leak, right?
Yeah,
there's no
I suppose.
Confirmation. Without some form of hard evidence or CIG announcing something, we don't know. But I'm interested to know what people think in the comments below. And are they looking forward to CitizenCon? What would make your CitizenCon? For me, I'm hoping they've got combat versions of the ATLS. I hope I get to see a good variety of devs and get to chat to them. I'm looking forward to the social experience. I absolutely love them for the atmosphere and seeing people. But there's going to be a load of awesome presentations, probably like Planet Tech V5 and hopefully a load of cool Squadron 42 stuff. They've got the set dressing of a Bengal carrier. So, lots of Squadron 42 stuff. And I'm hoping that they have a roadmap towards Star Citizen version 1.0, an actual commercial release. But tell us what you think is going to be there. Are you excited for more ships becoming gold standard and lots of balance changes coming in 4.0? Are you playing around with the Exo-Suits? Do you feel like that was a cash grab? Are you sort of like, no, they are giving us more with these, even though they're changing up the tractor beams and stuff? It does make sense that they'd be weaker than normal tractor beams, and these Exo-Suits are cool. Are you going to be waiting for them? Are you buying them right now? And are you having a great time with Alpha 3.24.1? Is it much better, or is it super buggy for you and you're having an even worse time? Whatever your thoughts or questions, tell us in the comments below. Whatever your thoughts or questions, tell us in the comments below. I think that maybe I wouldn't have had that word salad if I'd had NordVPN on my computer. The link's below. Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Yeah. Are you going to get NordVPN? Don't answer that, Zin. Of course you are. What's in the box? That is what Pandora asked. She was told not to open that box, but she did. The internet is like Pandora's box, full of the chaos of the world. And Pandora basically opened an email attachment asking to help a millionaire prince move money around. Bam! It was Medusa all along. You've turned to stone. Foolish! You should know your Greek mythology. What's not foolish is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. NordVPN is potentially one of the greatest Greek mythological heroes. It helps protect you from the terrors of the internet, helping you be more secure and private, while also giving you great accessibility. You can use my links down below to get NordVPN cheap. September, we've got a giveaway. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and this month is no different. We're giving away 5 ships this month. Actually, that is a bit different. That's 4 more than normal. We're going to give each of them to a different winner. We've got a Nomad, an X1, a Sulen, a Mustang Alpha, and a 100i. They all come with access to the game and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning any of those is comment on any of my videos made during the month on YouTube. I want to say a massive thank you to all our patrons and channel members. Your support allows us to make daily content. You are the best. And you should consider joining them by clicking the join button under my videos. It goes a long way in helping us, as does commenting, sharing videos, liking, all of that jazz. You do not have to chuck money at us. But if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. Thanks for watching and have a great September.
I'm going to put this at the end of the podcast.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Right, where were we?